Dreamscape presents Dark Protector by Katie Reus. Narrated by Meg Sylvan. Dedication. For all my readers who like their heroes a little rough around the edges. Chapter 1. Arthur kept his posture relaxed as he waited alone in the woods. It was unusually cold for October in upstate New York, already in the 20s. He wore a thick coat, though not to protect himself from the weather. As a 300-plus-year-old vampire, the weather didn't bother him much, but he had on a protective vest. Not that it would help if someone decided to take a headshot. He was fast, though, faster than a bullet. And he had to take this meeting. His coven had been feuding with the Kinley Lupine shifter pack for over a century. In the past decade, things had finally settled down. Partially because over 20 years ago, some foolish members of the supernatural races had decided to go public with the humans about their existence. So now they had to play a lot nicer, or risk fallout from the neurotic humans who thought they were all monsters in the dark waiting to drain them dry. As if vampires, shifters, and other supernatural beings hadn't been around just as long as humans. It had only been a matter of time, anyway, he supposed. With all the technology out there nowadays, one of those vampire or shifter videos on YouTube was bound to be believed. An icy wind whispered through the bare trees. The moon glowed high in the sky, illuminating the thicket of trees and snow-covered ground. He didn't bother looking at his watch. The mail he was waiting for, the second in command to the Kinley pack, was late. It could be a power play, or the mail might have gotten caught in the sudden onslaught of snow not long ago. Arthur was betting on the latter. He would have gotten caught, but he'd simply flown over it. Now, all was quiet. Arthur hadn't even told his own mate where he was going tonight. He'd just said he had a meeting. Which wasn't a complete lie, but he didn't like withholding information. A lie of omission was still a lie, especially to a mate. But this meeting was too important to their races. At first, he'd been surprised that the mail had reached out to him. But once he'd explained he wanted to discuss an ongoing relationship between a member of Arthur's coven and one of the Kinley
Sample complete. Ready to continue?